Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to Mission Podcast for week 2 of the Premier League Roundup. With me today is DK, Hedy, and new boy Lenny. Where's
Yeah.
George? Don't mind me asking.
Oh god. Oh god. I've got that
Oh
for
gosh,
years, man.
I'm sorry, man. I had to throw that joke in there as soon as I saw that name. But yeah, no, 3 teams currently with a 100% win record, that being Arsenal, Tottenham, and Liverpool, still maintaining that after 2 weeks. Um, many teams currently down the bottom of the table, such as Man United, Newcastle, and West Ham, yet to get off the mark with a win. And it's looking like a good season shaping up ahead. So we'll just go straight and review Friday night football's action, which was West Ham versus Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Chelsea 5-1 to Chelsea against West Ham. By the way, guys, we're also going to be doing a Team of the Week review as well. So let us know what you think of that down in the comments afterwards. But yeah, West Ham Chelsea. Let's get going.
Just head your lane one start.
Yeah, I'll start. Boys, it started off well, man. West Ham scored a banger through Paqueta. I mean, everyone had a glimmer of hope that West Ham might do something, but then, as usual, Chelsea just came alive into the game. And I think this might be controversial, lads, but I think the miss of Palmer is enabled to play like that.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
not saying he's a bad player or anything. I'm just saying when he plays, I think he hogs the ball too much. He's a bit similar to, I wouldn't say similar, but he's a bit like Bruno Fernandes. He tries being the centre of everything. I think them playing without Palmer, it's enabled most of their players to have more freedom and shine on the pitch. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing that Palmer is like that, but it's nice to see Chelsea play without him. I
Do you
think João
reckon it's
Pedro, he's going to be a really good signing, man. I think someone did say it on our predictions at the start. He's going to be a really good signing. Yeah,
I think it
another
was Carpe. I
person.
think it
Sorry,
was
sorry
Carpe.
to
I think he was
interrupt you.
saying, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Esteval as well. He's going to be a player, man.
Oh, he was incredible.
Yeah, man. I mean,
He
other
was
than
so
that, I've not
good.
really got anything else to add. So,
I think
Yeah, I
if I
mean, yeah, Lenny, you can go.
Pretty much what he said really. I thought, I'm not gonna lie, coming to the season, I wasn't the biggest Pedro fan. I always thought he was one of these players where they were like, what is his best position? Is he a 10? Is he a striker? Is he more off the left? A bit like, like an Nkunku, where it's like he doesn't really have a nailed on position, but since he's come to Chelsea, the Club World Cup, the beginning of the Prem, he's been incredible to be honest. Bar last week, where I think when he was up top, he kind of got marked out of the game. So I do prefer Pedro when he is in a bit of a free roam. So I think that position suits him at the 10.
Yeah, I agree with Lenny. I feel like he's much suited being a second striker. Like Brighton, he was playing with Welbeck up front, and he was always a second striker. And that was where he played the best. I thought Pedro
Yeah.
was fantastic. Again, West Ham are one of the teams I think are going to be in a real relegation scrap. The season not looking good for them. Bob Paqueta and Bowen, they've got no hope. I think it's going to be, a really long season for them. I thought Chelsea looked great. I thought, especially Pedro, which touched on. And then the point about Palmer, I kind of do agree with it. I feel like Palmer is the guy who, you rely on to do everything because he is your main player. And sometimes that can take the shine away from the team. But yeah, I thought Chelsea looked amazing. Get them after last week's performance was a bit subpar. I don't think it was a great performance. But yeah, again, I think Chelsea. I had Chelsea, I think third, and if they do carry on performing, I think they'll probably get around third or fourth. We'll get onto Man City after this. But yeah, I feel like it was a good performance by
mm.
Chelsea.
One thing I'll also point out is that I think West Ham
Wait,
have.
did
Oh,
he just
he's
get
gone.
booted?
He wouldn't have got booted, don't worry.
Nah.
Free Isak, more like free ZK. Sorry, that was so dad joke. I think one thing, the good thing that West Ham have going for them is that they've luckily got other teams down the bottom of the table that aren't as good as well, so they could probably nick a few points here and there for the teams. And the fact that they've got a really good, fan base, in order to, help drive them through the difficult moments. Um, Having Paqueta and Bowen is always a huge plus as well. But if I'm both of them, I'm literally running out of the Olympic Stadium right now. I'm trying to get a move somewhere else, to be honest.
Hundred
Um,
percent.
Yeah, I don't
because
blame him, man.
I think both are far too good for that club at its current state. It feels like West Ham haven't made many improvements from their midfield spine in the past few years. I remember Souček was fantastic 2019 to about 2021, and I think he's just slowly, fallen off a cliff, and now we're seeing that um, slow legs in the midfield. I also really like Juve as well. I think he was the one that set up Paqueta for the goal,
Yep.
and he was quite energetic down that left side. But West Ham have got some real problems. I don't really see where most of their goals are going to come from in a similar state of Wolves. Um, they don't really have that one focal point aside from Jared Bowen.
Yeah.
And you can't really expect Lucas Paqueta to throw up a goal like that every single game. But no, look, Chelsea played really well. So there's nothing really much we can say
By the way,
except for
a James Ward-Prowse and Souček midfield is not ideal, is it? It's not
It's
a
It's
good
not,
trash.
man.
pivot to have.
It's
I mean,
trash.
that finish by Paqueta was outrageous. What a
Uh,
finish! He just
Wonder
pushed.
goal, man. Probably
But
I think
again,
it's one of the best goals this season. I mean, we're only 2 weeks in, but
well, yeah, I feel like players like James Ward-Prowse, Souček, even Fulkrug, they're not real players you expect, to save you in like a relegation battle. But again, they've got quality players in Paqueta and Bowen, who I do think if they get relegated, them two players will be up for grabs real quick.
100%.
yeah, I can't lie, Danny Dyer, man. You're gonna have to firms it, bro. I know you're watching,
Wan-Bissaka
mate.
as well,
You are
man.
you are fucking shitting yourself watching this, man. You've got to,
Owen's
bro, save your daughter's marriage and get your son-in-law somewhere else, man. Forget
Bowen is
about it.
never leaving, bro. If he tries to leave, he's getting fed to sharks, bro. He's cooked. He's beyond cooked.
I don't think the
He's
facts, bro.
system
finished, bro.
benefits Wan-Bissaka either.
Oh yeah, Bissaka
I
too.
think you completely negate the fact of his 1v1 defending ability. Like we played them in pre-season, and Dorgu and Cunha was never 1v1 against Wan-Bissaka. And then you also expose more of the fact that he can't cover the back post. And where he has to run from further away from the goal now to try and get back, it's just, I'm pretty sure he was at fault for 3 goals in that game.
Yep, he
It's
was, man.
just,
Same
I think it was the header for Pedro's goal and then 2 back posts. And it's
Yes.
just, it's really poor.
Yeah, it is really concerning
Him
from
playing as
West
a wing
Ham's
back.
perspective.
By the way, there's one Chelsea player I want to touch on who I don't think people regard as a flop, but I think should be regarded as a flop. Wesley Fofana.
Ooh.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
70 million they bought him 3 seasons ago, and he's done nothing of note.
He's
exactly,
been
bro.
injured. You know what it is? He's been injured.
That's true, yeah.
He's been injured. So it's still a dud because he still hasn't,
Yeah,
proven that value.
He's not lived
He's
up to
not
the
lived up to the.
potential.
He's not obviously he's not lived up to the price tag because he's been injured that
Facts.
entire time. So maybe if he stays injury free this season, we'll see how he gets on.
Yeah, because they've got Colwell injured for the whole season, so he's probably going to play a big part alongside Chalobah.
Yeah, he will.
Let's move on to the early Saturday game.
Heady,
Heady.
heady.
Listen, man. Same
Let's
old
give Heady the
Tottenham.
ground to speak about it.
Yeah, these guys always have our number. And listen, I did say on the pre-season predictions that Tottenham they're gonna do really well. I think one thing against the Guardiola side which they prevailed in was the midfield. Like you hardly ever see that. I think João Palhinha and I think I'm saying his name wrong. Is it Pape Matassa? Is right? No, I don't
Yeah.
know. But them two, they
Yeah, yeah.
overrun our midfield, man. Them two put in a shift. And
What happened to
to be honest,
Shirky,
this
bro?
Tottenham, man, they always fucking beat us up, man. Listen, I'm not going to talk about the team, man. It was a bad performance from everyone. Listen, we've had our off
Ah.
season. We're still showing problems from last season. I think our main issue is the right back, Rico Lewis, man. The guy's playing hot potato with the football, bro. He ain't built to be our right back, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah, man.
I mean, on
Yeah,
Better
Twitter
than
before the
words,
game,
they said.
I feel like City. I feel like City fans were
Sure.
really optimistic with the team. They're
Yeah,
like,
I
"Oh, this
know.
is the best team we've had
But
all season," and what happens? They get smashed.
I think it's
exactly,
also
bro.
I think it's also a really big testament to how Thomas Frank
Was Frank,
uh,
yeah, exactly.
he's I mean, even in these the Super Cup game, obviously last week and this week, I'm not really. I don't like Daniel Levi, as a person, as an owner,
Who
and
does?
he's just a bit of a Yahoo. But
Hey,
that
Bro,
yo,
you
aside,
dropped the you turning to me, bro. What are you doing?
bro, it's completely fine. He literally is.
yeah,
He
he
is the J
actually.
word, but that aside, I think he did make the right call. I don't know if it was him that made the call to sack the manager. He's clearly got someone in that has a he's got a not a definitive style of play, but he just sets his teams up really well. Like Brentford, like I said it last week. Brentford in the past had a very good defensive setup. And they had they had good attacking players that were pacey, relentless, and they've got that now with that front three of Kudus, Richarlison, dare I say, and Brennan Johnson. The issue that Tottenham will have now is that can they sustain that with Champions League football coming up? With Palhinha and Sarr, that is a that's a tough as nails midfield. Um, and that midfield rivals Liverpool's and Newcastle's midfield, and Arsenal's in terms of its energy, defensive stability as well, and going forward too. It's just whether they can keep it going. Um, you know, one game a
Yeah.
week at the moment, it's completely fine. It's just the sustainability aspect.
Yeah,
So
You
touching
see,
on your point, Hazard, I think attack's always been a strong point for Tottenham. I think it's been their defensive where it's always let them down. I think this season, Jed Spence at left back, man, he put in a shift. He's probably one of my favourite players, and he don't even play for my club. He's, he's been immense for them in defence. And even Van de Ven, they're all just defending really well as a unit. Vicario in there, he'll make a few odd saves here and there. I think,
I think
yeah, like you
Romero's
did,
really
yeah.
matured as well. Romero's
Romero,
really
yeah,
matured as well.
100%,
Yeah,
man.
listen,
Listen, the
I'm one
less
of
we say
Thomas
about that, the better,
Frank's.
man.
I'm one of Thomas Frank's biggest admirers. I think he's an amazing manager, and the way he set up Spurs, I thought was fantastic. The midfield three, A top City's midfield, they had no clue what to do. Pressed them really
Exactly.
well. In my opinion, Romero and Van de Ven is a top three centre back partnership in the league. I don't know if you guys agree with me or disagree with
Yeah,
me.
I agree with you,
I'd
Danny.
I think
agree.
it's
yeah, no,
somewhere. I
It's
think it's
behind
somewhere
Arsenal
near.
and Eula. I think they have
Yeah,
probably the best
I think
defense.
it's behind us and Arsenal. I think theirs is the third best centre back partnership in the league. And this game, they were both fantastic. Romero, Van de Ven, both amazing. Pedro Porro, I think, had a good game. Palhinha got the
I thought it was
goal.
elite.
Yeah. And then the front three, Richarlison, Kudus, and especially Kudus. Kudus was creating some good
Bro,
chances out there
he's
for Richarlison. And again,
always like that.
like Eddie said, Spence was amazing all game. He
Yeah.
had Oscar Bob on lock all game before he got taken off. On City side though, bro, it's not looking good, Eddie. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I
It's not
know.
looking good for
I
City.
We've got
mean,
injuries. We've got injuries to Ryan Aitneri now as well. We
In the
play
first half,
United.
they had I think 2-3 moments of brilliance between Holland and
That's
Marmoush. And
yeah.
Marmoush had that one.
Where
Marmoush had that
Haaland
one.
played him in, yeah.
Yeah, and he missed it. And Borda, don't think City did anything with the game.
Um,
Holland had one chance, he never took it. Cherky, I thought was
yeah,
really poor. I thought this was
yeah,
his
he
first
was.
ball, and he looked horrible. Ruben Diaz, bro, what's up with this guy?
Bro, I don't know.
Is his head with my jammers? My brother guy looked out of place all game, and like Hedy said with Rico Lewis, but this guy is not made for City. Is there? He should not be playing. One one player I thought was a good player for City, and when he got subbed off, they lost it. Ainuri.
Yeah,
Last week
he's
he
gonna
had
be
a
a big
great
miss
game.
for us, man.
This week he had a great game. Well, he was looking to have a great game, and then he got injured and taken off. But about that, yeah, it was peak for City, and again, I
Yeah.
think Spurs looked really good.
If I
I
could add
thought,
though, at the end when Rodri came on, yeah, I know we lost, but I think towards the end we did look somewhat good in midfield. I think Rodri though, you have to manage his minutes because he's going off an ACL, so we can't rely on him like we used to. I think someone else has to step up now as well. I mean, Tiani Reinders, he had a great debut. I mean, this week he was a bit off. And there was a chance where he was in the box and he didn't shoot. He tried passing it. So,
yeah. But yeah, I think
mm,
Spurs play against Bournemouth next week. I expect them to win that
yeah.
100%. Man City, who do Man City?
We
Brighton
play
away.
Brighton,
Okay,
Brighton, yeah.
Brighton's away, a tough game. I could see the
We've,
profit points again
Danny,
there.
we've got a really tough schedule one ahead of us. We've got
I'm, I'm,
United away,
I'm
and
just
then we've
seeing your
got
picture right
Arsenal
now.
Arsenal as
isn't
well.
easy.
You've got
Yeah,
Brighton, United, Arsenal. Then you got Burnley. Then you
exactly.
got Brentford, Everton, Villa. So it's not the
Ryan
easiest.
Aitneri's out.
Yeah.
Guardiola's not back. I don't know who plays left back.
Yeah. Lenny,
Uh,
any thoughts on the Spurs City
Not look,
game?
it's not looking good, bro.
I just feel like City haven't addressed the issues that they had last year. I feel like they have almost bought into like the whole, oh, it's okay. We looked quite shaky defensively because Rodri's gone, and that is a huge factor. But I feel
It's not the
like
main factor, yeah, as you said, Lenny.
One of Rodri's not even biggest strengths, I wouldn't call it a weakness, but like he's always been a guy that has a little tactical foul when he's not super like athletic, where it's like
Yeah.
he's gonna stop counter attacks by himself. That's never really
Yeah,
been him. And I feel like you can't go into the season. You know you're only going to get 15 games of John Stones in the Prem. That's it.
facts.
Ake may be the same. I'm not sure what the numbers are with him starting games in terms of injuries, but you've got that. You've got Akanji who's looking likely to leave. Rico Lewis
Inshallah.
cannot be your starting right back, and neither can Mateus Nunes. I'm pretty sure last year, towards the end of the season and the Champions League, he got cooked for like every goal
Oh
towards
yeah.
the end of last
He,
season,
he
Mateus
did.
Nunes.
I mean,
And then
we've not addressed the proper problems that we needed
yeah,
to.
like Kushanov is too early to tell. He had a horrid debut, but
Facts.
he played okay for a few games after, and then all of a sudden he got dropped for no reason and didn't play. Ruben Diaz, I've
Yeah,
been a bigger fan than most. I know people say he's always on the floor, but I don't
he
really
is,
care
bro.
about
He
that.
is. He is.
But he
They're
isn't as
right,
good as
bro.
he isn't as good as he once was. So I
Yeah.
feel like they desperately. There's links of Gahey tonight, so maybe that could happen. But I don't know. We'll see. They need a defender, centre back.
By the way, what we think about James Trafford?
Listen, I think he's never been the best with his feet. I mean,
Oh,
Edison,
horrible.
it's hard
Yeah.
to replace him. But then again, it's just easy goals that cost us, man. Mistakes, two
Yeah,
mistakes.
it's a very United thing that they've done, where
Exactly, yeah.
they've just thrown someone in the deep end and be like, "Well, there you go, mate, deal with it." Like we know Trafford's not a guy that's great with his feet at all, and then it's almost been like Edison, off you pop, mate. Instead of where it should have been, Edison maybe leave next year, and slowly integrate James Trafford into the team, but they haven't done that. So
It almost feels like it's a massive antithesis as to what Guardiola did so much in the past. Like I associate James Trafford as a massive shot stopper. Obviously with the volume of shots that they would be getting with he would have been getting
Burnley,
with Burnley last year, or a year before that when he was playing in the Premier League. Um, but you can be judged on that completely. That's fine, but I think about 9, 8 years ago, they had Joe Hart in goal, and Joe Hart was pretty decent with his feet and an amazing shot stopper, probably one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. And he phased Joe Hart out for I think it was Claudio Bravo. Then he brought in Edison,
yeah.
guys who were better with their feet. And he's almost reverted back to the Joe Hart-esque style of goalkeeper of just a pure out and out shot stopper, asking him to do Edison things at his feet, which he's incapable at the moment of doing. And Lenny, I know you
Yeah,
said about integration, but I don't think that's an integrating thing. That's that's like 2, 3, 4 years of being able to be good with the ball at
Oh,
your feet. If you're
100%,
not if you're
100%.
not normally that good with your feet, like you look
It's
at
gonna
Nick
take
Pope.
years.
Look at Nick Pope, like he's slowly become better with his feet, but he was never like an amazing distributor comparatively to Jordan Pickford,
Yeah.
which is why Pickford's been England's first choice all these years. Oh, my chair's just gone down all of a sudden, just when I was trying to fiddle with it. You just see my reaction. Jesus saw that out. Oh, flipping heck. Yeah, I think City have kind of it's just like they've just look like they don't have any idea with what they're doing at the moment in the market, just throwing money
Very odd.
unnecessarily,
yeah. Speaking
um,
of that, I think
misprofiling players as well. So,
um,
but
I think we have
I still think
put
they'll
a bid
might
in
like
for
challenge for the
Donnarumma.
title. So,
I think we put a bid in for Donnarumma right now. I think it's
I think that's
25
the wrong
million.
goal. I think that's the wrong goalkeeper
Same,
to go
bro.
for. I think
Yeah,
that's
Exactly.
you don't need him.
We've turned into United. Useless signings.
Okay, let's move on to
Yeah.
one of the 3 o'clock games.
Finally, finally.
Burnley against Sunderland. Burnley getting
And
their first win of the season. My
Yeah,
local.
who would
I'm
have thought, man?
surprised. I'm surprised their first wins come so soon because I was saying last week, I don't see where they're going to get their points from. Then lo and behold, the
Oh,
Clarets proved me wrong.
no way they
Thank you
got a win
yesterday for
before
the clean
United.
sheet. And Sunderland all of a sudden, after having that glorious honeymoon phase on match day one, um, go and lose to Burnley, which is probably the strangest result I think could have happened because Sunderland played so well and Burnley played so poorly. So
I'll
You
be
watch
real.
it?
I'll be real. I did not watch many of this game on Saturday. I was not going to watch Burnley Sunderland 90 minutes on Saturday afternoon. But one of
I
the
said,
big
did you watch
reasons
it?
I think Sunderland did lose was Ballard. He got injured really early on in like 10 minutes. They took him off, and then he's the guy who holds that defense. And if a guy as key as that gets injured, you're in trouble. And I think they were in trouble. And I think Burnley won. I think this is gonna be one of the few games Burnley do win. Burnley against like a home team against Sunderland. I think it was a good win for them. Their defense, I think, performed well from what it looked like. But yeah, didn't watch this game. But I'm glad Burnley got the 3 points.
They're still going down.
I agree. I think both of these teams are going down. To be honest, I still think
I got
Sunderland are going down.
I
The
got
amount of
Sunderland
quality they've
staying
got in
up
the
to be
squad,
honest.
I still think it's not enough. And Afcon is really going to mess them up because most of the players are Africans. So if they're going to go, what they're going to be left with during Afcon time?
Xhaka,
I agree.
inshallah.
I agree. I've been a so-called Sunderland hater. I guess, this summer.
Fair enough.
I feel like every summer we see at least one promoted team come up and spend 100 million, and everyone's like, "Oh, hello!" Like, "Oh, we like their business a lot." And although I do like a lot of their midfield signings, I just feel like, again, like we said, Ballard got injured, and you just look at their depth and you're like, "Oh my god!" Like, there's no way you guys can say. I don't think they can. I don't think they'll stay up, especially with the point about Afcon. Dinga will probably be gone. Diarra. Oh
Diarra,
no, yeah, Mayenda's Spanish, so I didn't know that. Diarra will be gone. Sediki, I don't know if he will be going, but Renildo will be going as well. So like, there's so many players that will be gone, especially in Afcon.
I
I
think
was
you're
thinking
looking at
Ronaldo
like
was
a
going to be
two,
going.
three game. You're looking at 2, 3 games. I don't know. I've not really seen the fixture list at that time. 2, 3 games at minimum, 5 max, potentially. So, look, it's not the end of the world. This performance from
of course,
Sunderland.
yeah.
I still think out of all the teams down at the bottom of the table, West Ham, Burnley, Leeds, I think they'll be the ones that stay up. I think they will stay up. I think with that midfield of you made a sorry, let me retract back. Lenny, you made a great point in terms of, oh hello, we like their business because they're spending so much, but they've actually bought hard as nail players and they've also bought a little
That
bit
is a
of
great
quality
signing.
in that midfield as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. So
Um,
it's not like they're spending money on like they're spending 40, 50 million on someone in the Bundesliga or Liga that hasn't played Premier League football before. They spent it on Xhaka, like regardless of what people's opinions are of Granit Xhaka, he's gone and won a treble.
He's a great leader.
And it's
Someone you need.
straight away. He won a treble straight away at Bayer Leverkusen and was a pivotal part in that midfield. He's played Premier League football for Arsenal in their shittest times, and he knows how to get a result. So, when you combine that experience with the quality that Sunderland have, I'm not worried about them staying up at all. Thanks to Heady, we found out that Sunderland's fixtures for AFCON are Tottenham, Brentford, Palace, and West Ham. And I think that's
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Brentford and West Ham. Those are 2 games you probably would have backed them to win with a full strength team. However, it's 50-50 now because of AFCON.
I
I
think it'll be
can't really
tight.
remember West Ham having many African players in their side.
I think it'll be down to those
Who's
two
his
teams,
African?
Sunderland, West Ham. Who's the third team that goes down?
I had
between
Wolves
the
going down.
Wolves. Or even Wolves.
I think Wolves will just. I think they'll just have enough to stay up. I think they've got
I
the
don't think
midfield
Wolves
is
have enough.
good.
If they keep Lawson, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Larson's a big
Larson's
one,
going to be
but
pivotal for him.
I think their coach is good enough. I think their midfield is pretty strong. That new centre back they signed. I don't know how he started this season, but I was pretty impressed with him from January onwards last year. So I think it'll be down
Yeah.
to West Ham and Sunderland. But
Sunderland play Brentford next at home, and Burnley got United away. So
I think Burnley.
Burnley,
yeah,
Burnley, well, we won't talk about Burnley's chances in that game, but I
oh
still
god,
back Sunderland to beat Brentford.
Burnley probably get a draw. I can't even lie.
yeah,
United are shit, man. Amorim's a waste man, bro. That guy
We'll
stinks
get,
of
bro.
shit.
We gotta
Yo,
relax, relax. We'll get on to that.
Yo, hold it. We're gonna get there soon,
Amarim's not
bro.
ready for my run, man.
We are getting there. Don't worry. Next game we should talk
Let's
about
move
is
on to Brentford against Villa. Yeah.
Brentford Villa. Yep. Again, another a result I'm really surprised by, considering how much quality that Villa have on paper. Um, I think they kept the ball so much. Like I'm watching Match of the Day, and like they've passed the ball around a lot and not created anything of real quality. I think Ollie Watkins. I think this is his season where he just doesn't perform as well as he does. I think this is like his swan song season before he goes to um,
Sorry.
Saudi. Yes, that's the country I was thinking. Saudi. Yeah, if he was going to go and play at a big club, it would have been last season. He would have gone to Arsenal. But I think this is his swan song season. I don't think he's been good enough. And it just doesn't look great, to be honest. For Villa for the
Again,
moment,
they've
especially if you're
had
losing to Brentford.
yeah, they've had massive issues with PSR, so they've basically signed no one. But I was seeing McGinn playing wide right. I was like, why is McGinn playing? That's the
Yeah.
centre midfielder. Why is he playing out right for you? That's not going to create much for you. And then like again, Rogers didn't have really a great game. Watkins again didn't have a great game. So yeah,
I
Villa, man, I
think
don't know. They could finish around
Jacob
ninth,
Ramsey's going to
10th,
be a
10th.
big miss for him.
Nah, because he didn't really play much for him, did he? He was
But
mostly
when
injured.
he did play, though, he was a spark for him.
But the
Yeah,
biggest miss
he
for
was
them,
quite impactful though,
what the
weren't he? Yeah.
biggest miss is going to be Rashford and Asensio. I think they added a
Yeah,
lot to
forgot
them,
about them.
especially Asensio.
Good
I think
point.
he was like a good creator for him in the second half of last season, and then both have gone. And only being able to sign Guessant is not really adding much. So I could see Villa. I still think they're good enough to be around ninth, 10th, mid-table, definitely, but they won't be as good as last season.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, definitely.
100%.
I think, but you talk about McGinn being as a wide right. They've got Emi Buendia sat on the bench,
Malin,
and they've got Malin on the bench as well. Yeah, and I'm not saying Unai Emery's losing the plot by any sense of the imagination, and I don't think he'll be sacked this season or next. But I just think at the moment he's just using players that he can rely on before he goes to other options, and those reliable options at the moment aren't turning out to be as reliable. So yeah, no. I think also it's a brilliant result for Brentford, given that Nottingham Forest comfortably beat them last week, very comfortably. So
by the way,
lots of credit to Brentford
by
on
the
that.
way, I feel like Damsgaard is going to be a massive player for him. I think he's going to do. If they have any hope of staying up, I think Damsgaard is going to need to turn up, and he turned up against Villa. I thought he was probably the best player. And then again, Dango, the new signing, did great to take his goal. The defense, Kelleher, shout out Kelleher. I think he had a good performance. So yeah, again, Brentford, I can see them in relegation. For my predictions, I said it depends how they start the season. If Brentford get going, they could be fine. But if it could all, just go wrong, and they could be in a relegation battle, having to sack their manager. But yeah, I think Brentford will be okay.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. We'll move on to Bournemouth versus Wolves. And I just don't see. The thing is with Wolves, I just don't see where they get their wins from. I said this last week, and I'll probably go on and win next week. I don't know who they're playing against. It doesn't matter who they're playing against because I've said that now. But
They've
I
got
just don't
Everton.
see.
They've got
Like,
Everton at home.
what, last week I probably would have said Wolves have a chance, but
After
Grealish and
everything,
Dibbling,
yeah.
could cause problems. But
Ding
before we
ding.
get on to that, I just think Wolves. That Lenny said it, and Lenny said it, and they said that he said that the midfield and the defense looks okay and it will stay up. I just don't see it. I really don't see it. They're missing a lot of key players. I haven't
Gomez is
replaced
not
those
good.
key
I'll
players
say
either.
that.
They haven't replaced Nori. They haven't replaced Cunha. Strand Larson could force his way out, and I wouldn't blame him if he did. So Wolves could be really cooked this season.
Yeah, like you said, as I didn't really get to watch the match, but I don't think they're all that now. They've lost their two best players. Same as last week, what I basically said. I think they're going to go down. I don't think they have it in them to stay up. And I think, especially this season, like their competition, I think most of them are better than Wolves. If not all of them. Even the new free promoted sides, I'd reckon Sunderland, Burnley would get a game out of them, even win it. But other than that, I just see him going down again.
Lenny.
But yeah, they've played with this three back system for a while,
Yeah.
and I just don't see. I know obviously they've had loads of issues because who was the Real Madrid / Spanish manager that left after a short time because of the owners, the ownership. I can't think of
Oh,
his name,
I remember his name, Anna.
but the Spanish manager that was at Wolves for a little while, and he left because of the whole stuff with the owners. What's his name?
I forgot his name for you.
But yeah, he
I
left
think it
because
was
of.
Lopetegui.
There you go. He left because of the
No,
whole.
no, that comes to mind. Yeah.
He left
Yeah.
because of the upstairs
Yeah.
stuff. O'Neill had basically the upstairs is they're not spending a lot of money, and for a team that's played with a three back for 3-4 seasons maybe on and off, they've just not targeted wing backs. And I've never gotten that. They're having to play Hoover or I don't know who this Wolf guy is, but like they haven't been targeting wing backs at all. And they lose someone like Cunha, and then they cheap out with this. I know he had a good Club World Cup apparently. This Arias, but it's just like I don't know. They just keep targeting these guys from Brazil, and it's like you can get a bit more talent in there. Maybe some Prem players to bring in, but I do like that Agabadu. I think he's a pretty good player from what I've
He had a
seen.
good game, yeah.
But other than
Yeah.
that,
But yeah, I think
it's looking
Wolves are
quite
going to be in a
tragic.
relegation battle. I could see them staying up just about. I think the three promoted teams go down. Stan Lawson, I think if there is any hope, he's going to have to score at least 15 league goals. If they have any hope of staying up, I
Yeah,
don't know where the goals come from. Because again, I think their pivot's good. I think they started Bellegarde in the midfield this game, but normally it's Gomez and Andre. I think that's a nice pivot to have, two good midfielders. Losing I knew Reese massive miss. He was creating most of the chances for him. And again, having Arias and Monetsi out wide isn't really, the most convincing. Strang Lawson doesn't have much help, doesn't have much creative, around him. So I think he's going to struggle this season if he can somehow bag 10 to 15 goals, probably 15. I think they'll stay up. But yeah, I think they're in trouble, man. Okay, I think we've got all the 3 p.m. games. Arsenal
yeah,
Leeds. I
I
mean,
mean,
expected, innit? 5-0. We all expected
yep.
it.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest, well, 3
Here we
points were
go.
to be expected, which isn't like not to be expected of Arsenal. Fair play to Gyökeres, the Championship striker, scores against a Championship promoted club. So we'll give him that fair play. And I'll say that with a straight face. He also missed a sitter as well. Guy still slid in his Timberlands and
Fat chance,
out
by
of
the way.
country. Yeah, and stole a deserving debut goal for Max Diamond away because he
You have to
wanted
do
to.
that hair flick as well, though.
Yep, and
Oh,
Heady.
that infuriates me, man.
Yep. Yep, and you know what? That's the only thing I like about him. Not that he's chronically online or anything, but he's a bit of a shit house.
Quickly,
And
like,
obviously he's learned that from his time at Coventry. Considering he's been in a shithole most of his life.
yeah,
But jokes aside,
Joker is.
Jokerez aside, just what Arsenal needed after last
Yeah.
week. Literally just what Arsenal needed, considering how the performance wasn't great, but the fact that they got the result, which was really important, at Old Trafford, a historically not a great place for Arsenal to go to get the win. That was brilliant for them. And then 5-0 against Leeds was kind of
Yeah.
going to happen. Sorry, Bash. Um,
Yuri and
but
Timber, though. Show him.
yeah, shout out
Played
Timber. That was
well.
a
Yeah,
brilliant
good
performance from him.
tremendous
performance.
player.
He's
And
a very good player.
By the way, how are Liverpool going to stop Declan Rice's corners? Because them corners, bro, they are some ruthless
Perez is gonna
corners.
get dunked on.
I'm telling you, them corners when they come in, bro, every time I'm like, okay, this is a goal new for Austin. And their centre backs or wing backs always take advantage of it. I thought Declan Rice played really good, and I've always said it. I've said if Austin want to play good, Declan Rice has to play good. Like last week against United, he was really poor. I thought he was really, really poor, and you can see that
yeah,
from the performance. But yeah, I thought it was a standard. I expected Arsenal to win 4-5-0, and that's what they did. Saka in getting injured, massive,
Oh
massive
yeah,
blow. I mean,
Saka and Odegaard.
they've said it's not Odegaard as well. They said it's not massive blow. They said it's gonna be 3-4 weeks. So probably after the international break, a game or two, he could be back. But missing Liverpool, I mean, he never performs against us. But that's still a massive,
He's
massive miss.
ducking on purpose, bro.
But yeah, I thought it was a standard. I thought it was a standard awesome performance. Nothing more.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think it might also play out in Arsenal's favour if they want to pick they will probably go with Madueke to play against Liverpool. But I
Madueke.
think if I'm Arteta, I'm looking the other way in Nwaneri and trying to tell Nwaneri to literally just have a run at Kirkes because of how Kirkes has been in the past couple of games. And that's the kind of player that Nwaneri is. He's dynamic. He gets into little pockets of space and can cause trouble. Um,
Is the
I
game
think
at
Saka.
Anfield or
Anfield, yeah.
Yep, the
okay?
game's at
Okay, so I
Anfield.
think you'll always
Um,
have the advantage there. Either way,
no, for sure, but it's just.
yeah.
But look. I think Saka being injured. As much as we never want to see players injured, is a big blessing for Liverpool. Danny, I know you said that he doesn't do well against us, but I always remember. I've been remembering, Saka going up against Robertson. And it's just a horrible experience to watch, and I would not have been looking forward to watching Saka against Kirkes in the current run of form that Kirkes is on. So no, look,
Kirkes.
it's just all about stopping them set pieces, really. Um, because
Yeah,
Liverpool also really poor at set pieces. So look,
Oh yeah.
you did one
we'll see,
today.
we will see how that we'll see how much that Saka injury affects Arsenal. And if Odegaard I think Odegaard will come back. I don't have any
Yeah, I
qualms.
think he'll be fit. I think he'll be all right.
With it. Any words on Leeds? Because
Leeds
I
are
mean, it was
falling
I
expected.
apart.
They
think
were never going to go Emirates and get the win, were they?
yeah,
It was a great first win against Everton. Get the Premier League campaign game. Going. But I didn't expect anything of this game. You can't really, judge them against a game. I don't know who they play next. To be honest, me check right now. I think
they've
Lads, I
got
just remembered.
they've
Newcastle at
got
home.
away.
Newcastle at
Oof.
home.
I think
Next
they've got a
week,
chance.
Eze.
They've
They've
got
got
a
Eze
very
now as
small
well.
chance.
Eze
No,
next
Leeds
week.
don't have Eze. I'm joking.
No, I mean Arsenal. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but just quickly to touch on Leeds, they've got a chance against Newcastle because Tonali could be injured.
No Gordon.
Anthony
Gordon
Gordon's had a
missing.
red card.
Jolinton's out, apparently might be out for a while too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Joel
injured.
Linton could be out for a while as well.
These guys really
Who is
sacrificed
who
being
is
as Liverpool.
their
They went
who
all
is their
out.
depth? Newcastle, because they sold Longstaff too.
Leeds, yeah. And
Lewis
stuff's gonna
Miley.
see.
Lewis Miley.
Oh god.
They've good.
No
I mean,
Ampadu is massive for Leeds as well. He's a great player.
they've got Joe Willock, Jacob Ramsey. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a perfect game for Jacob Ramsey to come into Leeds away. Good test
Away,
his
okay.
character. I know it's Ellen Road, but still.
By the way, just touching on Arteta, do you think he'll go for Madueke there, or do you think he wouldn't?
I
No,
think
he's
he
going to
will.
start Madueke. He signed for 50 million or whatever, however much money
They'll
he's
probably
put.
put Eze on the left or something.
Pure
Madueke
That's
in the
what
presence
I
in
middle.
the
that's
middle,
what I
yeah.
think
I'm
we'll
worried
do.
about Eze, by the way.
Who's
He's a
gonna play right back for you lot? Sobersley again. What his name is.
I mean, Bradley might be back, so
Oh
I'll
yeah.
stop Bradley. If not, I'll
Bradley
be
Bradley
happy
got
with
like
though.
Sobersley
injured
Bradley
then.
though.
tonight, so I think he might start next week. Bradley, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay, let's move on to the Sunday games now.
First of Sunday games.
What was the first game? I forgot.
Was it Fulham United?
Palace,
Or was it
Palace,
Palace?
So
Forest,
Fulham United
Palace,
was the
Forest.
last game.
Palace
Yeah,
Forest 1-1.
Brentford. Palace against Forest. Didn't watch this game to be honest. So if anyone did,
I did watch the game. I watched a half each of both games. So I watched the second half of Forest. Ndoye is great. I can't lie, he's a great player. I honestly thought United could have gone in for him because I'm pretty sure he's played for two of Ineos's previous clubs. I think he played for Nice and is it Lausanne Sport in
okay.
Switzerland somewhere? But the ball he played to Hudson Odoi was just ridiculous. He's a great player, Odoi.
I think both teams will be happy with the point. To be honest, I think Forest going away to Palace. Palace not an easy ground to go to and getting a point is fine. Palace getting another point after Chelsea last week. Forest and Chelsea are not two easy games to start the season off. I think both teams will be happy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Two teams probably equally matched. Maybe Forest slightly more stronger. And obviously all the off field UEFA nonsense that's been happening between both clubs, fuels that fire. But both teams should be happy with the point. Just to quickly denote the fact that we could probably see a new Forest manager after the international break as well. That's
It could,
like
And
yeah.
Postecoglou.
And
that.
you might take that Forest job. You might actually take it.
He could
I
he,
think
he
I
can
think I
take he
think
can
Ant
take
will.
it, but that Forest team will capitulate because of how the Nottingham Forest have built like the Great Wall of China in terms of the way that their defensive structure is, and Ange Postecoglou is going to go in there with a hammer and break everything down. Like
I
you know,
genuinely think if he took over, they could finish bottom half,
I
Easy.
along
agree.
with Europe, as well.
Yeah. So moving on to Everton.
Ironically, I think they do really well in Europe, but I just don't see him. If Postecoglou comes in, it's mashed. I think Nuno. I don't know why people are siding with Marinakis, man. Like I look like Marinakis. If you're watching, yeah, you're my guy, right? But if you're not watching, like you piss off, man. You mafia scumbag, bro. Like honestly,
I'm torn
like
with him, I'm torn with him because on one side I understand it, but on the other side I see a guy that just wants the best for his club. I know that there's a way to go about it,
Of course,
and
yeah.
maybe this isn't the way to go about it, but
Bro, he's on his
I
way to a
can't.
fucking heart attack. Him.
Yeah, I can't fault him for trying to keep players and trying to fight for this and fight for that. But yeah, there is a way to go about it, and he's going about it in a very interesting way. I didn't like the stuff on the pitch though, at the end of
Okay.
last season.
That's for
Like, yes, technically, you bottle Champions League because you had it. You was there for like 100 and something days, but end of the day, you're pretty damn lucky to be where you were. Not lucky, but you're pretty damn blessed to be where you are to even get Europe. Because an amazing job from the team and Nuno. So I think to then bollock the team and bollock the manager at the end of the season was just ridiculous.
I think it's he's gonna follow the Roman Abramovich style of ownership where he's just going to be so result dominated that he doesn't care
Yeah,
about how
really
everything
upsets.
pans out, who it upsets, as long as the results are there on the pitch, which is admirable. Don't get me wrong. I think you know a lot of club owners can just can be very happy with with revenues, merchandise, net spend, but this guy wants to win, and that is something you don't often see in ownership, let
Yeah,
alone across most managers. So I respect that about him, but I just don't respect the fact that he's not willing to put in the time because people had Forest getting relegated last season, by the way. So
exactly.
you know.
yeah. And I think Forest's depth is, quite good now. They could bring on players like McAtee, Hutchinson, Yates, and Jesus. So yeah, happy with Forest. I think they'll do well this season. My main problem was their depth. I thought the squad got better overall, but being in Europe, it's
Douglas
hectic.
Luiz too.
Exactly. So yeah, let's move on to Everton against Brighton. Everton, getting their first game in the new stadium, getting a win. Grealish, I thought, looked amazing. This is the game I actually watched. I thought Brighton could have easily got a few goals. I think Pickford made about 4 or 5 saves. So yeah, Everton, I think they needed this after last week. I thought Barry looked really good up front. Grealish again gone. I think the left back looked really good.
Yeah, I think with Pickford, I just genuinely think that, and it's not an English, it shouldn't be an English bias, but this is the kind of keeper that that Manchester City might need, Man United might need, and he's just still stuck at Everton. Like he's elite. He's elite with his feet.
He's staying there. He's staying there.
I know he's staying. I know he's staying, but I think he gets overlooked for some reason. I don't know if he's getting paid really big
Tiny
bucks.
hands,
Yeah,
arms.
if he's
Tiny
That's what
arms.
it is.
and really tiny arms does. He's only got little arms, but I can't believe he's an England international and still playing at Everton. Like that's no disrespect to Everton, even as a Liverpool fan. There are bigger clubs out there that Pickford could be playing for. But he's doing a fine job, and that could be, and I think Jordan Pickford, Jack Grealish, and Tyler Dibbling will be the difference makers in for Everton to stay up. Now that Everton have got Dibbling, and the overall creativity can improve over at Everton. I think from last week I was saying, oh, maybe they won't stay up. I think they'll definitely stay up this season.
Oh yeah.
I've got no
I
doubt
had
about that.
them.
With Jared Branthwaite in defence as
I
well.
had them top 10 in my predictions this season.
Yeah, I had
Maybe a
them
bit
around.
too high,
Yeah,
but
I think I'm 12. I think they'll do well. Touching on Brighton, though, what I said about Brighton is going to be true all season. 1 week they're going to lose to Everton 2-0, and the next week they'll be Man City 2-0 at home. It's literally the
yeah.
story of the season. They'll do well against all the good teams and just lose somehow 2-3-0 to all the bad teams. So yeah, Brighton are probably going to finish mid-table.
Speaking on a certain Brighton player, I tweeted this out
Oh,
the other day,
yeah, I seen that.
and I don't want to sound too outrageous here. Every time I watch the Belabor, I don't really see it with
That's
him.
fair.
Like the 100 million midfielder. Like I understand that
No,
he gets
I
the
don't
ball
see
from
that.
deep and he can drive and it looks nice. But maybe like I said, maybe I'm just unlucky with the games that I watch. But like I watch him and like his poor games, I'm like, even his good games, I'm like, I'm not that moved. Someone like Wharton, for example, like even if he has a poor game, like he just pulls something out and you're like, wow, like either it's breaking past four players or picking out a pass. But with Belabor, I just don't really see that. I don't
Lenny,
see the whole £100 million midfielder. I know it's obviously he's young, but I don't
I
know,
agree,
man.
Lenny. I don't think he's worth 100 million. But do you think these days it's more of managers looking at the profile and looking what Belabor could offer to like a United midfield instead of just player as a whole?
Although 100% is that I think nowadays that's where football's gone to, and that's another topic about
Oh yeah.
spending all this money on not top 1% talent, and it's maybe in 3 years he can be good. And I've got my own opinion about that, which I think is just ridiculous for certain players.
I
But
agree.
yeah, it's 100% his profile. But again, maybe look for the person, the player that Brighton would replace him with, and then you go for that player instead of paying 100 million for. I don't
So
know,
true.
but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest believer, but
Belabor,
You're not a
belabor.
believer.
I'm not.
Let's move on to the game Lenny's we waited for. Fulham against United.
Ah,
Let's just give
oh,
him the stage. You can talk about it.
this manager, man. I would love to smack his face, man. I genuinely can't stand him. From it's simple maths. 2 is a lower number than 3. That's it. And countless times he rocks up every single week with two central midfielders. Bearing in mind, one of them is arguably the best number 10 in the world, and
Hmm.
he's been shown. Bruno Fernandes. You can make a debate. You can make a debate. I'm not saying he is, but it's debatable.
Yeah, he is.
Why is he
You
not starting Manu, man? It don't make sense.
you he's having to track runners in our own box. Now I understand Bruno is a hard worker. He puts in the effort, but there is no way that Bruno Fernandes should be the guy before someone gets to your centre backs. He should be tracking.
That's crazy.
So
Yeah.
that's just ridiculous. You don't take someone like that further away from goal. You push him closer to goal. The Kobe situation is ridiculous. He had one of the best quote unquote rookie seasons I've seen from like a young player, especially at United since I've been a little kid. And if you can't utilize your best players and get the best out of them, then one, you're a shit manager, and two, your system's also shit. He come out and said that the reason why Sesko isn't playing is because he hasn't got a house. Now I'm sorry, I don't think he's living outside McDonald's. He should be fine. He's probably in a hotel. Start the fucking guy you paid 70 million for.
Man said he
But
ain't got a house.
yeah, it's just the whole
Neither has
if we
Isaac.
can't if if we if we can't build up from the back through our wing backs, we go long. We're going long to a guy called Mateus Cunha, who is not a guy you should be going long to. And then you have a 6'5" striker on the bench, and the manager comes out and says he needs to get used to the system. Now the system is going long. I think a 6'5" striker would be able to know how to header a ball, control it, and bring it down. I don't think someone needs 3 weeks in training to learn that. But there's so many issues with the team. De Ligt is fucking shit. He's a bozo. I know he was good last week, but he's just not very good. Lenny Yoro is great. My head's gone, man. I hate this manager so much.
It
It's
must be
unbelievable
tiring.
how shit
It
he
must
is.
be tiring being a United fan, Lenny.
Oh, I've been tired for years, bro, man. I'm
But yeah,
sick of these managers coming in and just underestimating the quote unquote little teams in the Prem. Eric Ten Hag said the same thing. Bruno told Amarim, I'm pretty sure, I don't know the exact quote, but it was something like Amarim told him, "You didn't tell me that these teams were so good," and then Bruno was like, "Oh, you didn't ask me." Like, what? It's just crazy. Like, it's so bad.
yeah. Just to touch on the
So
United game,
bad.
I thought they started well. Although for the first 10 minutes, they played really well. Especially Cunha could have 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, and then I feel like Fulham started to get a hold of the game. They score the goal, then Euro. I think then Euro is a good centre back, but I don't think he's going to be good at United just because of the players he has around him and
Yeah,
of the manager.
100%. Yeah,
But yeah, I think that game was how I expected it. I expected a draw before the game. I thought second half it was Fulham who could have got a winner. I think Emil Smith Rowe coming off the bench getting a winner. Good for him. But again, this manager, like Lenny said, this guy is not a good manager. My main problem with Amorim is you want to implement your own system three at the back, but the players at United are not catered to playing three at the back. And the board is not going to give you money if they don't see anything. I'm going to make a comparison to Klopp here, not in terms of Amorim and Klopp. I'm just going to give you a comparison.
Yeah,
When
of course.
Klopp came in first, 2015, one of our first away games was against Man City. Now, that game, our attack was Lallana, Coutinho, and Firmino. We played up front three with that. That's not your normal front three. No one expects you to go into a season with Lallana playing ground wing. Klopp made it work. Klopp made it work, and we battered them. I think 4-1. We ended up scoring. It was I think 4 in the first 40 minutes or 50 minutes. That's a manager who knew what he was doing. He knew what his play style was. He knew how to get the best out of his players. Amorim, God knows how long he's been there for. I think he's been nearly a year. He's been
nearly a
there.
year. I think
Yeah.
November. Yeah.
And this guy, I could not tell you what his play style is. Just booting you up.
Oh,
I feel like
I
we
can.
could.
I can. I can. I can.
So that's
It's bad.
exactly my whole point about not knowing Amrim's style, not knowing what he does, and in the Premier League, that's not going to work. I'll be honest with you. And then
You
if
have to be
if
expensive.
if the board don't see it working, they're not going to give you all this money to splatter out on
Yeah.
players. They signed Cunha, in my opinion, great player. I think he's going to be a great player for United. One of the reasons they do well this season. This is where United are best. You buy players from mid-table clubs who have been their best players. So you sign your Mbeumo's best player for Brentford. You sign your Cunha. It's similar to what we did with Van Dijk, Mane, Wijnaldum, Robertson. We signed these players who we could see were better than their team that they're playing for. We just had to unlock the potential, and we did it with all them players.
Yeah.
At United, I like the signings, but I don't think they're gonna have the most success playing with United. Like
Agreed.
Mbeumo yesterday when I watched him, out wide. Why is he playing out wide for? That's not really his position. He must be closer to goal as a second striker or as like a half forward, like how we utilize Salah, but he wasn't being utilized correctly. So yeah, I think there's a lot of issues with United. I don't think Amrim's the Ramal. I could see him getting sacked real soon, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it just there's a few tweaks. I've said it for ages. There's a few tweaks that he needs to make. The whole central centre back in the pivot and build up is just ridiculous. I don't care who you have. You could have the best passing mid centre back in the world. It's not going to work to a certain level. Again, if the pass to the wing back isn't on, we just go long. Mount has been impressive. I will say that I'm not a big Mount fan. I haven't been
Yeah,
since he's joined, but Mount has been excellent in the first two games. Um,
yeah.
Euro has been great, but outside of that, it's just
Lenny,
not
would you
not
sell
great.
Bruno?
I'm very torn because again, when he rejected Al Hilal, I thought it was the right decision because I feel like if your captain comes out and leaves, especially because of Saudi, it's not like I know obviously it's a lot. It's not like he's going to a Barca or a Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He's going Saudi to change his life, and that's understandable. But it sets a really bad precedent for how are you going to come to new signs and be like, come join Man United. I know we just sold our captain, our best player, but come join United. So at the time, I don't think it was the right decision for the club to sell him. Now, I'm still a bit more like because Bruno should outlast this manager, and I think he will. I don't think he will leave in the last week, even though there's rumours going on with Al Ittihad. But I think next season maybe he could leave if the fee's lower. Maybe like a European club. Maybe like, I don't know, if Elise leaves at Bayern and Musiala is still somewhat injured, maybe Bayern could come in for him, or someone like, I've always thought of like him at Inter for some reason. I don't know why, but he's always just seemed like an Inter player for me, Bruno. Maybe if they come in, I think he will leave next summer. I think this is his final season at United. If a bid came in now, would I sell him? I don't know. I'd be very tempted
I
to,
don't. You know what it is? I don't think you do.
but it's hard.
Well, you know what it
It's a
is.
very
Bruno,
hard decision.
You know
the
what? You know
thing
what it is,
is,
right?
he's
If
hit
I
and
sorry,
miss. Sorry, did I
yeah,
interrupt
no,
you?
no,
My bad, my bad.
yeah, no, it's all right. I was just wondering if my mic was on mute
Go
or
back
what.
on me, Heady.
It's what you said, Lenny. Can Bruno outlast the manager? 100% he can. I don't
Yeah,
see any part. He can.
It can.
He can. Um, I just think when I look at Amarim, he's not investable at all as a manager. His style of play, if he ever has one, Lenny can tell us that.
We
That it
need to
just
do
doesn't.
serious damage to him.
Yeah, it just doesn't look sustainable. So you want to play under a system that is obviously far more sustainable, has better attacking outlet. 3-4-3's never worked. The only time it ever worked in the Premier League was
Conte.
under Antonio Conte, yes, and he had the perfect players to
Fabregas,
play in that
Matic.
system.
Oh yeah.
But if I'm Bruno Fernandes, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm not playing in a normal role that I'm meant to be playing in.
Yeah.
Should I leave the club now to play somewhere where I'll get, at least I'll get paid a shitload of money, or do I just wait it out knowing that this manager is shit and he's going to lose a changing room, and eventually another manager will come in where I play closer to goal, I score more goals, get more assists, and maybe that then leads him to staying again for another season after. Because you
I,
gotta, you gotta. If you put it this way, right, Bruno is still the kind of player that if you put him in and around goal with the volume of creative
yeah,
passes that he gives, the shots, etc., he will still produce results in that
100%.
Salah aspect, in that Salah-esque volume of chances created, goals scored, etc. I'm not comparing the two by any stretch of the imagination because they play in two different positions and perform two different roles. But Bruno will still continue to make things happen if he's up that pitch. If he's doing tracking back nonsense and Amarim lasts beyond December, then I'd be trying to get out in January. To be honest, I
Yeah,
just don't see
the
the.
role just doesn't suit him. Like as he when he plays as a number 10, he works hard, and as a number 10, you can kind of sprint about and press, and then you can just kind of rest because the ball bypass you. But as a centre mid, you can't really rest. You're always checking over your shoulder. You're always checking for example, when we play most weeks, we normally play like a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 against us, and their number 10 will always just get in behind our two centre mids. And unless our centre back is super aggressive, which to Delict's fair play last week, he was super aggressive on Gyökeres and would be up his arse as soon as he got the ball, and it worked. But in this game, he wasn't. So if it was a Wobie coming in from the left, or I think it was Joshua King, if he got the ball, he always got the ball behind our two centre mids, our two eights, our two sixes, and it just caused so much trouble because then Delict would get pulled out, and then maybe Ahmad wouldn't be in playing as a right back, which is just another topic. Ahmad playing right back is just crazy. But
um,
good
Lenny, I know
good
it's
managers.
only
Go
two
on.
game weeks in, but do you think there's any improvement from last season?
I would say fitness. I think we look much fitter than last season. Again, it's hard to say because I thought in the Arsenal game, I thought we didn't see no crazy pressing from Casemiro, Bruno. Why is Bruno chasing down the goalkeeper? We didn't see any of that. I
Yeah.
He
thought the
won't because
structure was
he's got to sit in them too. He's got to sit in the position of
exactly,
that
and I think
midfielder.
that's why, as funny and as bad as Man United are, knowing us, we get a result at Chelsea and City because
Exactly, yeah.
that's just how the other teams will set up. We won't press crazy, but against these quote unquote lesser teams, he will try to play more expansive, and that's when the issues happen because Bruno will press, and then one little pass, and
Yeah.
Amarim's just a poor manager. Like You hear from Conte. He was talking last week about how he's had to change formation to a 4-3-3, or sometimes he might even play a narrow diamond and have McTominay and Lorenzo Luca up top. Tuchel could play a 3-back, but also has changed to a 4. Xabi Alonso played a 3-back by Leverkusen, and he's gone to Madrid and he plays a 4. Although when they've got the ball, it's still more of a 3, which is what Amorim could do. Amorim could start with 4 defenders. Let's say he starts with a Dorgu, Delict, Yoro, and Mazarawi. Mazarawi comes in as the third centre back, and Dorgu bombs on, but he won't do that because he's naive and what he says goes. So,
Just a final point before we move on to the next segment. Do you think Amorim? Well, you say he's tactically naive, yes, but when you talk about the lesser teams, quote unquote lesser teams, United are at that level of a lesser team. It's just the name.
yeah.
Would you agree with that statement?
I think I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, we finished 15th last year. But I think again, we've got a non-mid-table team shoehorned into this formation that just doesn't benefit really anyone, because you've got Dorgu, who's a 20-year-old kid who come from Lecce, who played I think 5 different positions last season. Now he has to play as a winger. You've got Cunha, who in the first 2 games has been bought to play left 10, but hasn't played left 10 at all by like 30 minutes against Arsenal. You've got Mbeumo, who's more of like a right-sided second striker who's playing as a winger, and Mad's playing as a wing back. Bruno's playing as an 8. Like no one is playing in their natural, quote unquote, natural position. So the names on paper look good of our team, and it looks like we have a semi-decent squad. But when you're not utilizing them correctly, you've then got a mid-table team because you're just not. No one's benefiting from the system. Maybe Mount.
Yeah.
That's about it. But so technically, yeah, we are one of the lesser teams. We've just got a big Man United stamp on the front.
Yeah, of course.
Pretty
Absolutely.
much.
Anyway, appreciate the insight, Lenny, as a United fan.
One last thing.
Go for it.
Ugarte, you will not survive the season. I will make sure.
Fair enough.
Go on. Team of-
Originally we would cover the Liverpool game as well. However, we went on for an hour in a separate episode because a lot of the Mission Podcast guys, myself and Danny, we are Liverpool fans, so we did a separate review for that match. So we did player ratings and did a whole deep dive of discussion into that. So we won't cover that in this episode purely for the sake of saving ourselves the energy of talking about that. But if you'd like to go and watch that, that's in one of the playlists. I don't run the YouTube account. So yeah, cool. So team of the week, guys.
man.
Ooh.
Goalkeeper, I think is straightforward. Pickford.
Danny,
Yeah,
formation 4-4-2. I think.
We're 4-4-2.
4-4.
Yeah,
You
I'd go
reckon?
4-4-2. Yeah,
Fucking 2.
Okay, we could do that. I mean, it's not different to 4-2-3.
Yeah.
1-3.
Pickford. Yeah, I agree with you, Danny.
Yeah,
I think
I
he
would
made
say
what was it,
Pickford for
8
sure.
saves. He's ended up
Maybe
making
the pen as well.
8 saves.
Oh yeah, well explained. Left back.
I think it's easy. Actually, no. I was gonna put not Timber, Jed
He's a
Spence
right back,
there.
ain't
Wait,
Personally, I'd
why
put
not
Jed
Timber?
Spence. I was
I mean,
gonna
you
put Timber right back and Calafiori centre back.
I mean, Timber plays left back, so you're gonna put him left back, innit?
Okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
lads.
you
But
can't. I think for the team of the weeks, like we did last week, we shouldn't really be shoehorning players into
Yeah.
positions they didn't
okay,
play
yeah,
in. I
all right,
think
sweet,
it's
yeah, that's fine then.
Centre back, I want to put Van de Ven in.
Van
Van
der
de
Ven,
Ven
yeah,
was
Van der
amazing.
Ven. We
He made
locked
an
it down.
amazing block as well in that game
Yeah.
towards the end.
I want to make the argument for Virgil van Dijk. I think he was
He was solid
unbelievable.
today.
He
He
was
was solid.
unbelievable
very
against
good.
Harry
Newcastle. Right,
not.
In
he
a
was,
game where tempers were high, he also
and
made
the fact that he
choice
had
to,
Canate as his partner.
yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Unbelievable performance.
Right.
For left back, or right back, I think James Garner had a really good game.
Oh yeah.
Considering it's not his natural position, I think he has played there the last 2 games, but I think James Garner had a brilliant game. He's got a great goal too.
Shout out to Pedro Porro, by the way. He was really good. And then also Szoboszlai too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Centre
he put in a
midfield.
shift.
I think we have to have Paulinho in there, man.
Yeah, 100%. Palhinha.
I mean, other than his goal, he was really solid
You're
for
really good. Yeah.
Robert.
Do
Palhinha.
we count Pedro because he played as a 10 or not really? Or was he more of an attacker?
Pedro, I was going to up front, Paul the two.
Yeah, that's where I put
Okay.
4-4-2. Yeah, I'd put
My other
stick
That's fair,
midfielder,
so.
Enzo Fernandez, I thought a really good game.
Enzo
It's
was a
against,
good day.
you know what it is? It's
I
against West
I
Ham
I
and
had,
only
Steam.
I had Rice. I thought Rice was excellent.
Leeds.
Ooh.
I'm just
That is
thinking.
true.
I'm just trying to think of other players
Maybe
that
even Gravenberch. Gravenberch
Burnley,
was
Josh
very good
Cullen.
today.
Josh Cullen was
We don't
Ooh,
put Burnley playing. Yeah, I was going to say, Josh Cullen,
that
he
is
got a
true.
goal and he got an assist.
Goal and assist, yeah.
You could put him in.
I'm happy to put Cullen in because
Cullen's a great shout,
yeah, I'm
especially in
happy
a
with
6-pointer like that as
I
well.
mean,
Yeah. On the left,
left foot. I'm Jack
Grealish.
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 Yeah,
Jack Grealish,
Grealish.
yeah.
And Grohl unanimous there.
Yeah,
Jackie
fantastic
Grealish.
week for Grealish. Hopefully he continues to play.
On the
Well,
right, I'm
Right.
not really sure. Who would you lot? What are you lot
I've got two
thinking?
shots. I've got either, well, I want to say Kudus because he played there. My other option was Johnson.
I'm going to say Kudus. He played there. He did really
Yeah,
well.
majority
I,
vote.
I
Again,
would
Kudus then.
I would say Esteval. I thought Esteval was
Oh, for
unbelievable.
Chelsea.
oh yeah, good
Yeah,
shout.
I thought
But
I think he was
against City,
unbelievable at Chelsea.
doing it against City, Kudus looked amazing for the whole game.
Yeah, I mean either or, to be honest. I thought they were
Yeah,
both great.
I think Kudus might be the only player to make it 2 weeks in a row. Made it last week as well.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then up front,
I mean, I
Gyökeres
think
and
this is
João Pedro.
quite straightforward. Yeah, Pedro and Guckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out
Seen
to
Gyökeres.
Gakpo and Ekitike though, man. Again, Ekitike was
yeah,
solid.
easy gonna make
2
it.
weeks in a row.
He's so good,
Solid.
man.
He's
I'm
such a
jealous.
good
I don't
player.
know, man. I'm very, very tempted to kick Gyökeres out
Of
for the
course, you.
purpose of no. I'm being serious because Gyökeres scored a
What for
penalty that
Pedro? Oh no, Pedro's
he
in.
took off.
Leeds.
Gyökeres took a penalty off Diamond that Diamond probably should have taken, and
It was
Gyökeres
never
was
a pen, let's
fitter.
be real.
Ver-
He dived.
yeah, exactly. Versus Ekatika, who's gone away to St James's Park, taking his one chance really well and linked up the play as well as he could that entire game. And that's comparatively
Forget
Gyökeres
that.
at
Forget
home.
that.
It was a cushy game against Leeds. Like,
Forget
10
this.
men
Put
though, to be
Rio up.
fair.
Put Rio up front just because of what he did. Stick him in.
You know what? We leave the striker to the audience. If they put Gyökeres or Ekitike.
Do a vote, lads.
You will do
I
Paul.
would go for Gyökeres, but I'm biased because I like Gyökeres. So
I mean,
I'm a
as for
Gyökeres
Leaford,
fan.
and I'll still give Gyökeres. I think you gotta for the 2 goals. I think you
Yeah.
gotta put him in.
oh yeah, congratulations, he scored a penalty. Like, fuck off, man.
Listen, Bruno missed the
It's not
penalty.
hard to score penalties. Bruno
Bruno
missed
missed
one.
the
It's not
penalty.
hard.
Yeah.
Now he's tried it.
Fucking hell, that
not
landed in my
Yeah,
garden,
but
bro.
he shouldn't have been he shouldn't have been shoulder barging his teammate, the ref. So like,
End of the day,
You know when Bruno normally
the
takes
ref
penalties, he
abused
plays
him.
it. I don't know why Bruno just decided to blast his foot through that.
No, I honestly think that's the reason he missed, and that's
Yeah.
not even just an excuse
No.
because I
I
no
think he
I,
actually
I
is.
compare it to like NBA players taking free throws, and they're very like if they'll throw the ball back to the ref if they don't do their routine first, and I feel like the issue with how he missed is for someone as good as him, he should have just not let it bother him, and that's the biggest issue. He really let it get to his head, which is unusual, like with like Bruno. But yeah, it's just it landed in my garden. It's not great.
Yep, and we're doing manager of the week as well. I don't think we did this last week, but
Thomas Frank.
Frank, yeah, agreed.
I was going to
yeah,
go Moyes, David Moyes.
Oh,
Doing
I'm a-
Etihad, I'm gonna go for Frank.
Yeah. Good.
yeah, I think
Fair
Frank.
yeah,
enough. Fair
Thomas
enough,
Frank.
lads.
He's a
Burnley
top manager, man.
Burnley managers up there as well.
Scott Parker.
Scott Parker.
Parker.
I can't believe I forgot his name, man. I'm
Frank's a
cooked.
top manager.
Yeah, those three managers, top three managers of the week. Scott Parker, Moisey, and Thomas Frank. But we'll go Thomas Frank manager of the week. And
Yeah,
then
that's pretty solid. Good team of the week there, man.
any other goal of the week, goal of the week,
Goal of the week, I
Paqueta?
think. Paqueta.
Paqueta.
getter,
Mm,
bum of
Yeah.
the week, Anthony Gordon.
Bum of the week.
Yeah.
he was
James
having a really good
Trafford.
game as well. That's so
Gordon
poor,
was
man.
playing well, and then he just decided
He was
to.
playing excellent as a striker. Like he was everything was. I don't know.
But
He
there's
Lads,
lost
also
his head.
I know we've done team of the week. Who do you think player of the week is?
Maybe it's got to be Timber. I think. It's Leeds though, isn't it? But
I
I'm
mean,
going João Pedro.
I've got either Palinha or Grealish.
I've gone
Grealish.
Pedro.
Me Grealish.
I think Grealish was good, but one of them was a bit of a Busquets assist.
Oh
But
yeah,
his
I was
first one
thinking,
was good.
I don't know if you've seen the commentators trying to gas that. I was like, well, have you seen
Oh
it? It
yeah,
was
they were
just,
saying like, oh, it's all Grealish, and it's just like James Garner
what
just
is it?
whacked that in from 25 yards. Like
I'm gonna say Polinia.
Great
that's
shout.
fair. That's fair.
Fez.
By the way,
Yeah.
what a signing from Spurs. By the way, like
Yeah, from
I
Bayern as
wasn't.
well.
I
He's
wasn't
coming
so
from
sure
Bayern.
on it,
You know
because
what?
I always believe that Thomas Frank he doesn't really play with a traditional 10. He likes to play with like hard workers, right? And I thought in
Yeah.
that midfield you've got a lot of guys that can drive with the ball, like Sarr, Lucas
Bentancourt.
Bergvall, Bentancur, and I thought at DM they would go for more of like a passer,
Yeah,
but
agreed.
obviously they've gone for
nah,
a
they
more of
needed a
a just
destroyer.
total
But I
Needed a
ball.
think
Yeah,
destroyer.
I think they
the
need both,
injury of
but
James Maddison's going to be a big part for him as well. I think that's one of the reasons
I
why.
think I honestly think it's not benefited them, right, because they've lost a lot of goals, but I'm not sure if he would have loved him because of the hard working aspect. Like Morgan Gibbs White would have been perfect for Spurs because he works hard, he can play as an 8, he can play as a 10. I'm not sure if James Madison would have been like an ideal like number 10 for him because he's not great off the ball whatsoever.
Mm.
But who's who? I mean, we don't know, so because he's dead, so
But as we peak
pretty
of players,
much.
as a Morgan gives White, Nico Paz now as well. Bloody hell.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
they might get
Tottenham
that
are
Leicester
still.
kid. No,
I do.
or
I do
Savino.
Tottenham
Oh
have got
God,
a lot of high hopes for Tottenham, man. They'll be fine this season, I reckon.
I love Thomas Frank so
Yeah,
much.
same. What manager?
Free man
it's just whether they can continue the consistency with Europe. That's
and
it.
break down those smaller teams, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
I think that's been a good ep.
Cool.
Oh
All
yeah,
right,
Good
guys.
lads.
So that was the Premier League review for game week 2. Nice rhyming. Peter Drury
oh
out here, man.
beautiful.
Um, this is Hazza. I had DK, Lenny, and Hedy on the show
Yeet.
with me this week here
Oh
on
yeah,
Mission Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're doing this weekly. Hopefully, we can continue to do this weekly. Because we're having fun and stuff, but I said some very cancelable things on the last on the Liverpool episode. So if we get done, it's my fault. So
if we
yeah,
lose to
no,
Burnley,
guys.
I may not be here either.
Oh man, yeah. To be fair, if we let you have free reign and go uncensored, like
Yeah, yeah. We get locked up.
we're getting locked up, bro. I'm telling you, man.
No words.
Let's not talk
No
about Hedy,
words.
but Hedy's
Right.
been on his best behavior today, so we'll give him that.
Listen, the PR
Anyway,
training's
guys.
paid off, man.
Yeah,
Paid off.
PR training's been good, man. Although I can't lie, a part of me didn't want you to get PR trained. Anyway, that's Mission Podcast Premier League game week 2 review. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Goodbye.